This show is made possible by support from landsharks.ca. Visit them for all your coin and swag needs at www.landsharks.ca. And by viewers like you. Thank you for your donations.
Campus caching, rock climbing caching, and Badlands caching. It's November 20th, 2010. This is Trackfiles. Hi there and welcome to Trackfiles. I'm your host, Icenrye. Trackfiles is a video podcast featuring caching news, upcoming events, YouTube videos, major milestones, equipment reviews, and podcast rewind. My website is trackfiles.tv. My email address is geoicenrye@icenrye.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Trackfiles, and if you're a fan of the show, make sure you sign up for the Trackfiles Facebook fan page. So, what's new? Well, here we are in the middle part, we're getting close towards the end of November as I tape this. Winter has officially arrived here in Prince George. I had this past week off on vacation. I was hoping to catch up on some local caching. However, I did have a few plans, one of which was to give rocks a bath, which is a 2-day process in itself. And then the temperature went down to about -20 and we got a ton of snow. So guess what? All our caches are pretty much buried now for the season. There's still some urban stuff kicking around. I might get around to it, but it looks like for now, caching is kind of put on a bit of a back burner. That was a good year, and yeah, I'll still get out and get some more. There's lots of stuff out there, and hopefully the weather will improve in the next week or so. Maybe I can get out next weekend or something. So what did I do in my spare time while I wasn't out caching? Well, I did my other great hobby. I was working on video. Shot a ton of video at the last Top Dog trial, and I finally gone through it, got all the good runs, and got everything uploaded to a little YouTube channel I call PSTV, which stands for Pawsitive Steps Television, which is a local outfit I train with here in Prince George. Make sure you check out their website at pawsitivesteps.ca. And as usual, I'll have links on my website, trackfiles.tv, where you can go and check out some really great runs by some good friends of mine, including a couple by Abel and myself. However, that's not small talk for now. Let's get into the meat of the show. Let's get into some caching news. So for our first article, we hear from Northwestern University and the North by Northwestern website. X marks the spot. Jesse Swedlund made sure the coast was clear. A pack of sorority girls had finally made their way down the block, and the man across the street was too busy fumbling coins into the parking meter to pay attention. The sophomore slipped his hand under a park bench outside a purple line stop to pull out a small black capsule no larger than his pinky finger. He popped open the cap and unfolded a tightly wound piece of paper that listed those who had come before him. Swedlund had found a geocache. So a great article written by the campus newspaper on caching in their area, and they're actually quite surprised by just how many caches there were on their campus. As usual, check out my website, trackfile.tv, for links to the full-length article. Next, we move on over to Battle Creek, Michigan, where we read in the Battle Creek Examiner, Geocaching, the modern treasure hunt. Her hands digging into a triangle of ivy plants surrounding a lamppost Friday, Jody Bowen perked into a dark hole. It's down here somewhere, the Battle Creek Calhoun County Convention and Visitors Bureau Director of Communications said. Bowen and the reporters accompanying her were led to the spot near the Underground Railroad structure in downtown Battle Creek by coordinates downloaded on her mobile phone. It's another great article on how cities are promoting tourism through the use of geocaching. And hey, if you're in the Battle Creek area, send me an email, geoicenrye@icenrye.com, on what caching likes around there, because that was actually a very good article. And as usual, check out my website, trackfiles.tv, for links to the full-length article. So next we head to Marist College, where we read in the Marist College Circle, A Geocacher's Guide to the Galaxy. Fate was not on our side the arbitrary Thursday afternoon that Caitlin Nolan, your trusty managing editor, and I decided it was a perfect day for your geocache. For you muggles, this time defined as a non-geocacher, geocaching is an outdoor activity in which hide-and-seek containers are hidden all around the world with the goal of being discovered by a fellow cacher. With a handheld GPS and coordinates found posted on the geocaching websites, the adventurers hunt for containers stuffed with logbooks and small tchotchkes. Again, another great campus article, and hey, these folks are also surprised by the number of caches on their campus. Again, check it out. I'll have the links. For our next news article, we visit with the blog of fellow podcaster Daryl W4, where he discussed the recent updates to the geocaching iPhone application and also the Geosphere iPhone app. Again, I'll have links on my site. Check it out. And if you haven't downloaded them on your iPhone, get up to date. So for my final news article, I want to give a big shout out to Interior Geocaching. Interior Geocaching site focuses on geocaching the interior area of British Columbia, and it's centered in Kamloops. These guys have come out with some really great articles lately. It's been a lot of fun to read, and as usual, check out my website, trackfiles.tv, where I'll have a link to their site. Well, that about wraps it up for news. Now we're going to visit with HeadHardHat of Geosnippits for a review of the Blackstar geocaching application for the Blackberry phone system.
Well, hello, Icenrye. This is HeadHardHat from Geosnippits Videos saying hi from Raleigh, North Carolina. It's fall, but as you can see, we're still wearing our t-shirts here. The weather's beautiful and perfect for testing a Blackberry application known as Blackstar. Let's start now and see what we can do. Well, in today's episode, we're going to be doing a review on an application for a Blackberry phone known as Blackstar. We're going to take Blackstar through its paces, tell you the results, and get the information right back to you. Let's start that now. You see my Blackberry curve. The Blackstar application may look slightly different on your phone depending on which type it is, but for example, this is what it looks like. You'll see right off that it'll start looking for satellites. When it starts getting about 3 or 4, the coordinates will actually pop up, including the altitude. Now, there are 3 key points that I try to bring up when doing a review like this. 1 is ease of use for the user. 2 is accuracy, because this is a GPS application. And 3, the final overall feel and usability of the application itself. Information. We're going to actually go and take a look at the details about a geocache, as you can see here. Once you choose the geocache that you want, you set it as a destination, and then it'll set the coordinates and the direction and how far you go. Let's go see what this geocache is here. Okay, we're at our first location, and we're going to try to find our geocache using the Blackstar Blackberry application. We're going to go down this path. We've got to go about 3. And then the real fun begins. We actually go out and find actual geocaches out in the field. Nothing better for testing out an application than actually using it. And then I went out and did what I consider as manual testing. I went out into an open field with a clear blue sky to test to see exactly how well the application would do in perfect conditions. As you can see here, I'm setting down some marker flags and showing the positions itself. And you can see here through time-lapse photography that I did multiple tests over a long period of time. I wanted to make sure the accuracy was tested as much as it possibly could. The results then would be shown to you. Icenrye, we hope you enjoyed our little video, and if your viewers want to get all the information about Blackstar, be sure to check out my blog, GeoCache. I'm not obsessed, right? You can Google HeadHardHat and find us straight off. We'll give you all the information about the Blackstar application, all the links you need. Stop on by, you're more than welcome.
So thanks Triple H for that great article, and make sure you visit my site, trackfiles.tv, where you can link to this full-length video for the entire review of the Blackberry Blackstar geocaching application. So for this episode's YouTube video, well, we were just there not too long ago, and we're going back to Oregon to visit with my good friend Pablo Mac, because he just released a brand new video on his YouTube channel dealing with this rather unique cache that I believe is either a 4.5/5 or almost a 5/5. And I tell you, next time I'm down in Oregon, I gotta go check it out. The cache is called Rope-A-Dope, and some of you may already be smiling because you know what it's all about. For those of you who don't, I'll have a link to the actual cache on my website, but folks, you gotta check out this video. Ladies and gentlemen, by Pablo Mac, Rope-A-Dope.
Very nice weather. Oh yeah. Hi, I'm Groovy Caching Dude out of Albany, Oregon, and we're here at Smith Rock State Park, world-class rock climbing area and hiking area. We're located out of Terrebonne and on the eastern side of the Oregon Cascades. We're going to head for Rope-A-Dope, a cache, a small cache located here at the park. We'll take a look and see what that has to hold for us. Well, this area is just beautiful, just for a day hiker or if you're into serious climbing. You'll notice over here to the cliff face, there's quite a few world-class climbs here. Get a little further down the trail and we'll take a look and see what they have to offer.
Hey, I'm Pablo Mac. GPS says we're about 200 feet from Rope-A-Dope right now, and we're hoping that the climb part is maybe on the uphill side of this rock and not the downhill side, because you see what those guys are going through. Well, here's Rope-A-Dope. Which dope's going first? Injuries sustained from Rope-A-Dope. This is Pablo Mac. Stay safe or keep on caching.
Thanks Pablo Mac for that great video. That cache is definitely on my to-do list. So now that the video's got you in a good geocaching mode, let's find some events to go to. Time for this week's events planner. So first off on our event planner, we're going to look a little ahead to next year, July 16th, 2011 to be exact. And if you're anywhere in the Badlands of Alberta, make sure you check out the Best of the Bad Mega event. Visit the Alberta Badlands. Folks, this looks like it's going to be a great event. They're hoping enough people will show up that it'll be a mega. And as usual, I'll have links on my website at trackfiles.tv. Now, for regular events, all these events are scheduled for next Saturday, November 27th. First off, we start in Nova Scotia with Scouting for Treasure 2, hosted by TigGuy00. From there, we move to Ontario for the Fort to Fort Hike Part 1, hosted by the Blue Quasar. Next we travel to Indiana for 3.1415926535897, hosted by Ginger and the Wabash Valley Geocachers. And from there we go down to South Carolina for Band of Cachers meeting at Southern Headquarters, hosted by Freak Cacher. So there you go, just some of the many events scheduled for next Saturday, November 27th, and hopefully an upcoming mega event in Western Canada. If you'd like your event featured on Trackfiles, email me, geoicenrye@icenrye.com. Let me know when and where, and I'll feature it on an upcoming episode of Trackfiles. So now you've got your travel plans set, load up the iPod. Here comes Podcast Rewind. Time for Podcast Rewind, looking back at this past week in Geocaching podcast. We start off with Cache-Maniacs, where Daryl and Dre interview Team Ducky. Some locations they dream of visiting are Alaska, Germany, Hawaii, and Ireland. They recommend upstate New York to fellow cachers. So listen to the interview and hear about how they ate gas station subs on Christmas thanks to geocaching, and also how they used caching to settle into the community after moving. Next we visit with the Geocaching podcast, where they talk with the co-founder of the website GoBreadcrumbs.com. Breadcrumbs is a site to take your GPS tracks to the next level. From there, we visit with the Twin Cities Geocaching podcast, where they're live from the Minnesota Geocaching Association fall event. And then from there, we go to the Midwest, where we visit with the Chicago Geocaching podcast, where this week they discuss caches of the week, announce contest winners and upcoming events, and read emails and milestones. There you go, folks. There's some of the many caching podcasts out there. Make sure you visit my website, where I'll have links to these and many more podcasts. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode of Trackfiles. But before I go, just a couple quick notes. First off, mad props to Landsharks for the continuing support of the Trackfiles podcast. Make sure you visit them at landsharks.ca for all your coin and swag needs. Also, shout out to all the financial contributors to the Trackfiles podcast. Guys, without your contributions, this podcast would not be possible. And if you'd like to donate to Trackfiles, it's very easy. Visit my website, trackfiles.tv, and just look for the PayPal buttons on the right side menu, where you can either subscribe at $5 or $10 a month, or make any random donation. Guys, again, your donations are greatly appreciated. But in the meantime and in between time, that's it. Another episode of the Trackfiles podcast. I hope you enjoyed. So until the next episode, cache on.